Hey, welcome back everybody. Today is a great day. You know why today is a great day? Today is the day that you learned "You Shook Me All Night Long" just like you hear it on the record. Today we're going to focus on Angus's work, primarily on the solo. We'll talk about the intro, and I'm going to show you all the little intricacies that happen on the chords during the rhythm section too, so stay tuned for that. Hey, if you haven't done so already, jump down right now to that subscribe button, hit that, and ring the bell. It lets you know every time I drop new content, which I do every single week. Subscribing helps me out a lot too. And also, all my videos have jump links in them, so you'll notice down the description or on the horizontal red bar, you can go right to the part of the lesson that you want. So if you want to bypass some of my yapping, you can go right there. And if you're looking for ways to support the channel, you see super thanks right below. It's a little heart, and you can click on that, and it's just like throwing a tip in a tip jar, and that would be much appreciated. And if you're looking for other ways to support the channel, you can join my Patreon, which I've linked also below. There's different levels of membership there, and you can explore that, check that out. There's exclusive content and chord charts and tabs and all kinds of stuff for the songs that I put out on this channel here. So check it out. Okay, so "You Shook Me All Night Long." So this is one of those songs that you've heard a million times, right? But you know, it's one of those where you hear a number of these licks and they sound kind of easy. You know, if you're in that sort of beginner to intermediate stage, you can get there. And, you know, for the first time in a long time, I really sat down and really listened to that song. And there's a lot of nuance and a lot of things going on in there, in the phrasings and how he creates his parts. And we're going to go through those in detail. I'm going to start with the intro, okay? Now, as you know, there's two people, you know, leading the guitar army in AC/DC, right? You've got Angus and you've got Malcolm. And what you hear on the record is actually a pretty much pan left-right, where you've got Angus on one side and you've got Malcolm on the other. And they actually play very different things. And Angus actually plays way less than I thought he did. You know, what they mixed and came together sounds like one sort of coherent guitar part, which you can sort of play on one guitar. But when you really listen to it isolated, they're doing very different things, okay? First, let's talk about what Angus is doing, right? Angus is doing this. So a couple things to note about that. I always thought that it was played down here. And it's not. If you look at live how he plays it, he actually makes that D shape. He plays that G chord in the D shape up here. So, and you can get that because when you listen to that record, you can hear him wiggle it a little bit. And that's why you're hearing that. Right? So that's his part. Angus, and I'm going to go for a little bit different tone here, utilizing my split coils. And Angus is playing something very plain, very plain. He's just doing a G, D. So when you listen to that record and you hear the guitar that's going, that's Malcolm. So that little drag where he's hitting, that's him. Angus isn't doing any of that. So very basic, right? Right? So you combine those two parts and you hear what you hear on the record, which is the fantastic sort of combination of the two. Now, if you're trying to do that, if you've got a single guitar and you're trying to do that live, you can sort of approximate that. just sort of mix them up together a little bit. But all right, so that's the intro. That was the thing that I never really knew when you listen to it on the radio and you hear it a million times in your life, and you're just figuring, oh, he's playing it here. And I see 1,000 guys doing that in bars. And it sounds all right, but it's not how he played it. And if you want to get that little nuance, do it up here. All right, let's talk about the solo. All right, now this guitar solo, just apart from being an epic, great rock guitar solo, obviously, it does three things really well that keeps you interested as a listener, and it's a testament to whether Angus probably does this unconsciously. He's just so great at creating these great rock solos. But it does these three things very well. First is the phrasing. The phrasing he uses, it's conversational. There's space between the notes. He's not filling everything up. Second one is a story arc. He takes you on a journey. That solo has a musical path, and it keeps you interested, like I said, going all the way through. And the third thing it does is it alternates between major and minor throughout. Another thing that just, as a listener, just keeps you sort of interested and going along with it. So let me demonstrate here on each of these. Now his solo, I'm going to divide it into 4 parts. I call them 1A and B, and then 2A and B. 2B, right? All the 1A and 1B all happen below the 12th fret, and 2A and 2B are all, I think, above the 12th fret, right? So right there, you know that he's covering pretty much the whole neck, and he's going to take you on a journey all the way through. But phrasing, let's talk about the first part. I'll call it 1A, right? So it goes like this. I'll play it a little slower. So that's what I call 1A. It's all sort of literally based off of the minor pentatonic scale. Like every one of those notes is right in there. But there's space between those, right? And then the energy of the song picks up, and he follows that, or leads it, depending on how you think about that, with part 1B, right? So we're still under the 12th fret. But this is the part where everything underneath it is going. It just starts picking up energy, right? So right there. So he's climbing to the next position, which is taking you on that journey, and he's actually moved now from minor to major. Those are pretty much all living on off of a major G pentatonic, really. That's from a minor, but then you slide into major. Right? And again, leaving space in between each one of those. Leaves you time to jump to your next position, so we'll call that 2A. We're now going above the 12th fret, right? So now he's moving from major to minor. He's going to do the big bend into a minor G pentatonic. Right? So again. Leaving space for your final part, part 2B. Our final part, again, he's moving from that minor, now he's moving to major, and he starts from a minor position, but he ends that first little bend in a major note, right? So he starts here, technically is where he starts his finger, but he's gonna go here. Right there. But it's bending past it and then down to it. And there you have it. Just for a fun experiment, let's take the exact same notes that he plays in that solo, but let's keep the phrasing, and we'll keep the alternating between major and minor and actually the same notes, but we'll remove the whole thing about taking you somewhere, moving around the neck and doing that solo. And let's see what that solo sounds like. I think it's going to sound like hot garbage, but let's see. All right, well, that's the same. Well, now what happens? Oh, that's awful. Ugh. Oh, God. I think I just threw up in my mouth. Oh, that sounds awful. Don't do that. All right, so let's do the solo one more time, and I'll play it slowly all the way through, and you can follow along. And you can also use your YouTube controls down there to slow the speed down if you ever need to utilize that feature. Okay, here we go. All right, that's the solo. Got to be one of my top favorite solos of all time. Okay, now the rhythm chords. As equally cool, to my ear, of that guitar solo are the rhythm chords and how they play it. Angus and Malcolm play them slightly differently. And in doing some research on the web, there's actually nobody that I've found that does it better than someone named Andre Kazuma. So I'm going to link his video right here. And Andre, thank you for that. Did some great research on it, and totally concur with what you've got on there. So I can't do anything better. So all I can do is point some folks to your video. So there you go. But thanks for doing that. Before you click that link, if you haven't done so already, please click subscribe and ring the bell. It lets you know every time I drop new content on lessons like this, which I do every single week. And let me know in the comments what you think about this video. And if there's another song you'd like me to do, I do requests. And also, if you're so inclined and looking for other ways to support the channel, you can use super thanks down below. And also you can visit my new Patreon page where I include chord charts and tabs for the songs that I put together, including this one. And if you join one of our membership levels, you'll have access to all of that great content and more. Okay, so until next week, take care, everybody.